I'm not sure. Okay, I think we're live. I think we're live. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector doing a live. It's been so long since I've done a live. I don't get the opportunity to go live as much as I used to. Especially ever since I moved out here to the West Coast, I haven't been able to set up my game room and office space how I want to. So it'll be a little bit before I can get things kind of situated like how I had it before, where I could, do some live streaming of some games and things like that. Sunset Liquid, what's going on? Um, Unfortunately, I don't have my room set up, but once I do get my new game room set up and I get the office space set up, hopefully we can do a little bit better with these lives. But I wanted to come to you guys and show you what's going on, Charles. I wanted to jump on live and show you guys what I've picked up so far during the buy two get one promo. So GameStop did launch their buy two get one promotion on Sunday, and I unfortunately, like, I'm bummed because I've missed out on some really good games. I was just literally like a split second just too late, and so I missed out on some really awesome opportunities. Before I show you guys what I've gotten so far. One of the games that I missed out on was a like new copy of Dynasty Warriors Gundam versus Zeta Gundam, I think is what it is, which is a really good PlayStation 2 game. I had it in my old collection. I think it goes for like 170 to 185, and GameStop had it for $85. Young Lay, what's going on? GameStop had it for $85 and I missed out on that. So I was really bummed out that I wasn't able to get take advantage of that and pick that one up. But that was one. I mean, you can't win them all, right? Like you're not going to get to all of the games. You're not going to win them all. But I'll show you what I've been able to get and let you guys know kind of where my focus has been with this promotion. So in the pickups list, I do have 3 Switch games. I typically only buy Switch games when there's a promotion attached. Like so now that we're in the buy two get one, this is an ideal time for me to rebuild my Switch collection. And I did have some of the Atelier games before, but this was one that I had never heard of. So this is Atelier Yumiya. And so this was a Switch game that I said, you know what, as I rebuild my Switch collection, I'm gonna start taking a flyer on some of these Atelier games again. And this one just looks really bright, it looks really colorful. And so I picked this one up as part of a buy two get one. And then I got another Switch game here, Astral Chain. For those of you who don't know what this game is, this is a very good game. The backstory is, it's this futuristic police force. The Earth gets invaded by these aliens, and somehow this futuristic police force, they come up with this technology that allows you to basically tether to these aliens, and you're connected with them via this astral link, hence the name Astral Chain. And the story basically follows a brother and a sister. I can't remember the names because I actually started playing this game back in 2023 and got about 35% through it and then just stopped. But basically, their dad is the chief of police. Something happens, and I think he dies in the game. And you can either play the game choosing to be one of the two, but essentially, you have to like train. It's almost like alien Pokemon. Like you have to train your alien, and these aliens are unstoppable. So they basically find a way to tame them and then work with them to stop them. It's a very interesting story, but Astral Chain is one of those games from a Switch perspective that reminds me of games like Gravity Rush 2 or Sword of the Berserk on the PlayStation 4. For those of you who know, there was a time where there were certain PlayStation 4 games that you would just see all the time, and then after a while you just stopped seeing them. Like you didn't find them anymore, and they were like just really expensive. Like if you wanted to get them, and now some of those games are expensive. Like some of the Attack on Titan games, like Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle, like I said, Gravity Rush 2, some of the Transformers games, Deadpool, some of the Spider-Man games. And these games are really common until they're not. And Astral Chain to me feels like one of those games. You can still find copies of Astral Chain all over the place, but I feel like out of all the Switch games, this is going to be one of those games that will fall into that like sort of the Berserk Gravity Rush 2 zone where they're not like super rare, but they're definitely harder to find. And the people who still have copies of this game are going to try to think that they can charge a premium. Astral Chain is a very fun game. It's a good game on top of that. It's not just like it's rare. This is a actually really good game. If you like hack and slashers with like a really interesting story, you're gonna like this one. So this is a really cool one. And because of the promotion, I said, you know what, I'm gonna add this game back into my Switch collection. So I picked up Astral Chain, and then another game that kind of falls into that category is Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order. So this is another one that I had in my original collection, and I said, you know, I'm gonna get this one back because I had this before. I'm a big fan of the Ultimate Alliance games. For some reason, this game never came out on like the PS4 or anything like that. So, you know, for me, this is one of those ones that I was like, you know, I want to get this one back. So, because it's part of the buy two get one, I said this is a really good time for me to dive back into Switch collecting only when these promotions are going. What's going on, Skur? Godzilla's getting a remaster. Nice. It's the original Xbox Godzilla. Nice. Um, so yeah, this is a really good time. You know, I know a lot of times, like for me, especially, we look at like the buy two get one as a great way to like stock up on retro. But this is definitely a good time to go back and grab some of those Switch games that are a little bit more elusive, especially when you can find like limited run Switch games at GameStop, because there was a point where like you could get certain limited run games at GameStop. So I like to try to see if I can find a copy of like Blasphemous, or you know, if I could find any of those early limited run games. I'll try to see if I can get my hands on. But these are the Switch games that I've picked up so far. Then so you guys are gonna be shocked when I show you what I picked up next, but so Mario Party 9. I did pick up Mario Party 9. I was trying to collect all of the Mario Party games at one point, and then like I stopped. I just wasn't collecting for the Wii like that. So I did go ahead and pick this one up though. It's complete. It's in really good condition. Grab that. Then I got Mad World on the Wii. This is one that I've been wanting to get for so long. I remember when I was collecting for the Wii a little bit heavier, I could never find a really clean copy of the of Mad World, and I picked this copy up because it was extremely clean, really good condition, and this is just an interesting hack and slasher. This is one of those games that this game kind of reminds me of like Okami in a way, to where like it's one of those games that once Nintendo announces some type of like sequel to this game on like the Switch 2, everybody's gonna run back and try to see if they can play the original Mad World. So it just feels like one of those games. But it's definitely one that I wanted to grab. So I went ahead and added this one. Uh, the young lady says GameStop had a bunch of Sega games today, but I really don't like buying loose. Sega games, buying them loose, it really kind of depends on the Sega game, like which game it is. I will buy certain Sega games loose. It just depends on the game. Square says if you find Return to Monkey Island for PS5 or Switch, get it. It has gone up in price. You'll be able to pick it up for 20. Nice. Okay, I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you for that one. And then the next Switch game that I picked up was Metroid Other M. Now again, um, this is another one of those Switch games that I had always wanted to collect. It was just kind of elusive because every time I saw one in the wild, it was beat to death. So this is another like new copy of Metroid on the Wii. And so, you know, again, these are the types of games that I'm only going to get during a buy two get one, because that's when it really makes the most sense for me. Unless I find it somewhere for like, you know, $2 or $5. But I went ahead and picked up three Wii games. It's the first time I picked up this many Wii games in a really long time. And so, you know, these are some cool ones. So added those. Then we have a PlayStation 2 game. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this game, Total Overdose. But this is actually a very interesting game. So this game is like you know, the Latin version of like Max Payne to me, with a little bit of like a comedic twist. To be honest with you, this game reminds me the most of a game on the PSP that's one of my favorite PSP games. It's called Chili Con Carnage. And if you've never heard of Chili Con Carnage, you gotta go. and check that game out. Chili Con Carnage is a ton of fun on the PSP. I don't know why it wasn't brought to any other platforms, but Chili Con Carnage is a really fun game. And that's kind of what this game reminds me of, Total Overdose. It was complete. And I went ahead and grabbed it just because it's not one that I see at the store very often. So I went ahead and snagged this one. And then we've got a bunch of cartridge stuff to go through. So the first one that we'll go through is I picked up this copy of Alien Infestation for the DS. Now, it sucks that this one wasn't complete. This is a very cool run and gun shooter on the DS. I actually had this complete a while ago. I don't know why it's so blurry. The camera won't focus, but Alien Infestation, if you do spot this game out in the wild, definitely go ahead and snag it up, especially if it's complete. But this was one that I found. I never buy loose DS games. Like, I never buy loose DS games. But this was one that I went ahead and snagged. But what's the bonus disc for Total Overdose? I don't know. They didn't have it there in the store, so I don't know. Um, but when I looked at the gameplay footage, it definitely reminded me of Chili Con Carnage. Um, but yeah, if you do happen to spot this, Infestation is a good one. Then they had some. Oh yeah, I do. So I actually do have Thor. Skur. I did pick up Thor for the DS. I was actually up on Thor a while ago. I had Thor in my original collection, and then I sold my collection and got it back. I picked up some SNES games that I actually have to wipe down because these are got some kind of, I don't know, like dirt on them. I should be able to wipe that off. But we've got Mickey Magical Quest. These are actually surprisingly good games. These were made by Capcom, so these games are actually really fun. They're fun platformers. So we got Mickey's Magical Quest. We got Mickey Mania for the Super Nintendo. We got Super Ghouls and Ghost on the Super Nintendo. And then we've got Super Metroid. So definitely some solid titles that have been picked up so far during the buy two get one. Um, Definitely the Super Ghouls and Ghosts was one that I was glad to actually add. Alien Infestation, adding this one back was definitely a really cool find. And then Total Overdose was actually really good as well. So just kind of wanted to jump on here, show you guys some of what I'm finding out in the wild when it comes to the current buy two get one promo. When I go into the stores, and I don't know if this is happening because people have been watching like my videos on buying from GameStop's website, but almost every store I go to, they have a huge stack of games that are just being shipped out. And it looks like a lot more people are opting to take advantage of the online website, which shout out to anyone who's ordered on the website. That is the way to go. I definitely can tell you that competition on the website is going to increase. Um, I know that a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day sold earlier today. A copy of Goemon sold earlier today. A copy of Rule of not Rule, a copy of Kuon sold today. Um, what else did I see that sold? Xenogears. Some really good stuff has been selling on the website. So I would say that the best times to check if you're on the East Coast. So let me do it by West Coast. Like if so, when I'm on the West Coast, I noticed that new inventory gets added on the West Coast, like between 2 and 3. So if you're on the East Coast, that's usually like between 11 and 12. That's when I tend to see stuff get added. And if not then, sometimes like at night, I'll randomly see stuff pop up on the site. So out here, if it's like 11 o'clock out here, that might be like 2 in the morning on the East Coast. So it's just really random times that this stuff tends to hit their site, and then you just got to be the first to snag it up. You have people that are on their website shopping like at midnight, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, because they're trying to be the first person to see the games once they're uploaded onto the site. So they're just trying to have first dibs. But that's going to be your best bet. Socrates, not a GameStop grab, but I was able to pick up Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Shattered Dimensions at the local thrift store for a combined 950. Wow, that's a good deal. Were they complete? That's crazy. Young Lay said, "My last order did me dirty. Never again." GameStop is done. GameStop did me dirty the last time I ordered from them. I have a video out where I saying how GameStop did me dirty. I ordered like 15 games and like 10 of them were disc based, and I went like 0 for 10 when it came to completeness. Like none of them came complete. You know what I mean? And so I've had bad stretches like that, but in my old collection, like you guys can go back and watch some of my videos from last year. Like I remember last summer, like towards the end of the summer, bro, my hit ratio was probably like 70% on good games too. Like I got Eternal Darkness complete. I got Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes complete. I got Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube complete. I got Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo. Now Chibi Robo wasn't complete, but I got it with the box, which is still good for Chibi Robo. What else did I get? I got so many games that I was like, man, this isn't gonna come complete, and they came complete. Like Vandal Hearts complete on the PlayStation. I got Castlevania Chronicles complete. I got Symphony of the Night complete. I got what else? There were so many games last year that I was just like blown away. I was like, dude, I'm burning all my luck this summer. Like I used up all my luck. I used all my luck last summer. And if you guys look, just go back on my channel. Just go back to like last summer. Cause I would show you guys, they're like, damn, like look, this came complete. It was crazy. I'm trying to think what other wild games. Coliseum came complete. What else came complete? I'm trying to think of like the craziest pickup that came complete. Probably well, Chibi Robo wasn't complete, but Chibi Robo coming with the case was pretty wild. I would probably say the craziest online pickup that came complete was Castlevania Chronicles. That was probably the craziest because it's a jewel case. And not many pickups, it's not often that you order from GameStop and they actually send you the jewel case. I think of all my jewel case wins, I only got three jewel case completed box games from them: Castlevania Chronicles, Symphony of the Night, and Vandal Hearts. Those were the three games that I ordered from their website and they came complete. Just trying to think of anything else. I'm trying to think. I'd have to go back on my channel and see, but I know I definitely got some good stuff from them. Um, Dunkin' Donuts said I may have to catch the buy two get one free online. A lot of usual GameStop stores I had didn't have anything worthwhile. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you guys can hop off this live now and go check, I mean, it's probably not a lot. Like what I noticed too is you want to really know where the sweet spot is. Like if you go to the website and you filter your search by price and you go to the 25 to 50 range, there's a lot of like random stuff in that range that's like really good. Like you'll find like a lot of like random like Game Boy Advance games, original Game Boy games, GameCube games. You'll find because a lot of good games fall in that bracket because they're 49.99. So there's a lot of like 49.99 GameCube games. Even like some like PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, a lot of them fall in that bracket. So I find that that's a really sweet bracket to look in. Um, and then, of course, you've got like your $100 and over and stuff like that. But usually that bracket gets destroyed. Like usually that tier gets knocked out. But you'll find a lot of good stuff there. Socrates says, yeah, I didn't get one disc game complete from GameStop. I got a Saboteur on the Xbox 360. The manual was folded half. Folded. That's funny. I didn't show it here in this live, but I just got a copy of Afro Samurai complete online. So this year, when it comes to games that came complete from online from them, I got Afro Samurai complete, but that was on the 360. So I knew the probability of getting that complete would be high. Um, the one that shocked me was getting Azura's Wrath on the PS3 that came complete. That was actually pretty good. Because surprisingly enough, Azura's Wrath on the PS3 is like gone up. It's like an $80 game now, which is kind of crazy. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. I got The Sopranos complete. I got Scarface complete. What else did I get complete? I got some stuff complete. Chris says, I wonder how many of those games traded in for Pokemon cards. I know there are collectors that chase the trend going from one popular to another. Probably, they're probably the completing of the sets is crazy. Animal Company player, lol, I can get these for free using an emulator. Yeah, and you can get movies on bootleg. That's how we used to watch movies bootleg. You can skip going to the live basketball game and just watch it at home on TV. You can skip music concerts and just play the CD. There's always cheaper ways of doing things, but it's really more about the experience that you're after. Like, what type of experience are you after? Some people value the experience of playing video games on original hardware. They just do. It's worth it to them. You know, it's the same reason people opt to spend thousands of dollars to go watch the NBA Finals in person as opposed to just watching it at home from the comfort of their couch. Um, some things, it's more experiential. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you could get for fake or burn for free, or there's a lot of, it's funny. So today I ordered a reproduction copy of Hagane because I was very close to getting the real thing, but then I just couldn't bring myself to spend $2,000 on a loose card of Hagane. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just get a reproduction cart because the reproduction carts they look really, really good. Like, I've had one before, and they're really, really good. And I got it because I still want to play the game on an original Super Nintendo on a CRT screen, CRT TV. You just can't replace the experience. So, I get that a lot. I see that a lot on my comments, like, ha ha ha, I can emulate this for free. Well, sure you can. You could do a lot of things. You could listen to Michael Jackson's, Off the Wall on an MP3, or you can get the record and play it through a record player and listen to it that way. You'll hear the same song, but the experience will be night and day. And that's what people who collect and buy original hardware, that's what they're paying for, the experience. It's more about the experience of playing the game versus the game itself, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, he's got it right. Do you ever use a Wii U? I have one, but I never use it. No, I got out of the Wii U a long time ago. When I sold my collection, the first one of the first consoles I sold was a Wii U. Um, just because I don't know, the Wii U just didn't really feel practical to me, and I think that's probably going to be one of the next videos that I do, where I talk about like a practical collection, because I think there's a balance, right? There's a balance. A lot of people are on one end of the spectrum. I mean, on one of two ends of the spectrum. Either they swear off physical collecting altogether and they just say, "Oh, I can emulate. I'm going to emulate everything. I'm going to buy a Mister and emulate everything," or whatever they choose to do. And then you have people who have thousands and thousands of games. And while, I think, I think that, I think that there's a level or a point where a collection can become impractical. Like, it's not practical. Not everybody's gonna have 1,000 games in their collection. They're just not. Like, a lot of people don't have the room for it. They don't have the money for it. And so for me, like, this time around, one of the things I told myself is that my collection is not going to exceed 500 games. And it hasn't exceeded 500 games, and it won't exceed 500 games. Now, I'm okay with the value of my collection going up. If my collection value can go up without necessarily the price of the games go, or the amount of games increasing, I'm totally good with that. And that just goes back to curation and being selective and really finding collection pieces. So that might be something that I talk about in my next video. Um, but yeah, guys, this is where I'm at. You guys can let me know down in the comments what you've picked up so far. That does it for me. It's been a long day. It's Monday. It's been a long work day. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So I took a collection.